What's up guys, this is Cody here, and today I'm going to be showing you the best tweaks and theme of the week. So to go ahead and kick this list off, I want to start with a theme that I'm running here, and I think it's pronounced Veexillum. So you can see right here, that's just a really nice and clean theme, has a really nice color palette. You also see right up here in the status bar that it's going to change the theme for the Wi-Fi and data indicators right there. You'll also see a different theme in the control center as well. Now this is a tweak that I'm going to talk about here in just a second, but just to give you an idea of the different themes that you get within the control center, that's what Veexillum will do. And you'll see some of the other UI elements that it changes as I go throughout the video. But let's go ahead and start talking about some tweaks now. And the first tweak I want to talk about is called AniBanner. So what this does is basically animate your banners. So you'll see if we go into the settings here for AniBanner, you'll notice that it's enabled. We also have animated transparency as well as animated corner radius, as well as banner tint. Now the banner tint is very faint, but it does give just a, obviously a tint. You can actually see what it's doing right here because I just happen to get a notification right there. You can change up the animation speed to make it faster or slower, as well as the corner radius to your liking. Now once you've set that all up however you'd like, then you just tap on test banner here and you can see exactly what it does. So it's obviously fluctuating between that rounded and flat banner that you normally see without this tweak. And you'll also see that it's changing the transparency as well as just a hint of that green color that I have set right here. So if you want something a little more flashy as a banner notification, then you can check out AniBanner. Now the next tweak I want to talk about that you actually just got a peek of as I was talking about the theme is a tweak called Bragi. So if we tap on this, you'll see that all you have to do is enable this and then you have your configuration. So if we tap on that, you can see that you can toggle this on to add that same media controls as well as the album artwork to reachability. Now right here you can change up the album artwork corner radius if for some reason you want to change that up. I think it actually looks pretty good at default. And then right down here you also have the ability to use vibrancy labels. Now right here we have the default music player. So you have several options right here. I have it set up to Spotify just because that's what I use the most at this point, but you can change this to the stock music, YouTube, radio, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Google Play, basically whatever you use the most, this is what you're going to want to set it to. And I'll show you why here in just a second. So first of all, let's go ahead and check out what it does when we add it to reachability. So if we double press, you'll see that we get that nice little media control center right there on the right for reachability, and then we have the album artwork right there. Now when you set this up for the default music player, we have it set to Spotify. So you can just tap on that album artwork when nothing's playing or when something's playing. It's going to open up that application that you set up right there. So at this point, if we start to play something and then we pull up our control center right here, you'll notice that we get the album artwork and we also have the scrubber, the volume, as well as obviously all the media controls and just the album name and artist right there. So in my opinion, I think it looks really nice, really clean, and really well put together. Next, we have another banners tweak called DathBanners Pro 2. So if you guys aren't familiar with this tweak, this basically allows you to customize your banners in a couple of different ways. So you can see if we tap on banners right here, this is going to be just while you're on the springboard. So you can see that you just enable this. You can also toggle on color saturation as well as the unicorn effect. So the unicorn effect is basically going to flash a whole bunch of different colors when your banner comes up, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But you can see that you can change up the color saturation. You can make it less, more, as well as the color alpha right here. So when we tap on test banner, it's actually going to flash a whole bunch of different colors just because we have that unicorn effect on. Now if we wanted to turn this down a bit, you can kind of see what that does. We'll also turn off the unicorn effect. And you can see if we tap on test banner, it's going to be a whole lot more faint, not as flashy as what you'd normally see with this tweak. So if we go back here and we go on the lock screen, this is going to allow you to customize the lock screen banners separately from what you get on your springboard. So pretty much the exact same thing that we have on our previous options right there, except for the underlying blur. So you can toggle that on or off right there as well. So if we wanted to change up the saturation just a little bit, we're going to leave the unicorn effect turned off. So if we tap on test lock banner, you can see that it's taking the effect or the color from that particular application right there, and it's applying it to the color of the banner. Now if we go back, you can also notice that we have some notification center options. Again, we have enabled the gradient effect, color saturation, as well as unicorn effect. So right here you have your color saturation as well as color alpha, and then right down here at the bottom you also have the header color alpha. So at this point, if we just pull down our notification center, tap on notifications, you can kind of see what we have right here in terms of colors for our notifications. So let's go back here again, and you also have specific apps. So if you want to tap on that and toggle that on, you can specifically set up the color for specific applications right here. So you just tap on one of these. So for instance, let's say we were going to change up Bitly. So if we just tap on this, you can see you can change the color by entering the hex color, which is kind of hard if you don't already know hex colors. So you just have to actually look that up. You also have some user requests as well as credits right here, but basically if you want to change the colors of your banners, then you can do so using DathBanners Pro 2. Next tweak we have here is called FlipSwipe. So this is a really simple tweak. You can see right here, if we open this up, all you need to do is enable this, and then you can change up the gestures of what you want this to do. So you have the up swipe, the down swipe, as well as the double tap. So what these gestures are going to do is flip your camera. So if you're using the front facing camera, then doing a swipe up is going to use the back facing. So swipe up, you can see, swipe back. I really need something on the wall back there. It's kind of bland, isn't it? So just a swipe up, swipe down is going to flip that camera right there. So pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Just makes things a little bit easier to snap that selfie on the fly. Now next we have a tweak called Floater. Now this is a really cool tweak. I actually like this one. It's very similar to the tweak roundification, except it has a little bit more granular options that you can configure. So if we go into the settings for this, just to begin with, and tap on that, you can see that once you enable this, you have the options to enable specific elements for this tweak. So you can see that we have the UI alert, swipe action bubbles, iOS prediction cells, banner, screen, app switcher, dock, control center, and notification center. You also have it for the keyboard as well as icons if you want to toggle that on. That basically turns it into a pretty rounded icons. It's not necessarily a circle, but it's not a square either. It's kind of in between, but you can check that out for yourself. You can also see that you have some options down here if you wanted to change up the icon rounding option. So if you enable this, then you can change it up, basically have a preset radius as well as some border width, custom icon radius, as well as change the border color here. So it's gonna be a really nice tweak to enable a whole bunch of different things, but what I really use this for, you probably already noticed, is the control center right here. So you can see that that's rounded off. Just like in roundification. You also have the exact same thing with the notification center. You guys probably saw that to begin with. And you'll also notice, if you've been looking, that my entire screen is actually rounded. Now this is a tweak that I had a long time ago. I can't even remember the name of it, but I used to use it in iOS 7, but it never worked in iOS 8. So this is actually the first tweak that's worked on iOS 8 on the iPhone 6 Plus, for me anyways, that has been working with the rounded corners. And I've always liked that, so that's definitely a really big plus for me. But coming right down here, just to kind of show you guys a little bit more of what this can do, you can see you can change up the scale and radius right here just by basically entering the numbers right here. This is something that you're probably going to have to just tinker with unless you just want to leave it as is, which is what I've done. And you also have a banner animation options, so you can basically go through here and just tinker with this as well. Again, this is not really user friendly just because, I mean, it's a whole bunch of numbers, just kind of like the previous scale and adjustments here. So not incredibly user friendly, but at the same time, it does still give you the options to tinker with and mess with them. You also have the default banner position and size, as well as turning on those beta animations. Now next up we have a tweak called igSpeester, which stands for Instagram Speedster. Now this is a really cool tweak and I actually like it a lot. I do have one complaint. It's a big complaint and I'll tell you that here in just a second. But swiping over here to Instagram, you can see if we go ahead and open this up, there's a few different things that you can do with this. First of all, if we wanted to switch our options, or switch our accounts, I mean, you just tap and hold on the person right here, and then you can tap on your default account, which mine is iTweaks. So it's going to take me to iTweaks right here. So if we tap on that, you can see that we're in. Now we can also, let's just say that we tapped on a picture here and we tapped right up here on the date and time. You can see that actually gives me the exact time that this was taken as well as posted. So if I tap on that, you can change it back to the original Instagram hours. Now if we go back to our feed, you'll see that if we tap on this button, you'll see exactly what that does. It's going to give us a grid allowing us to see several pictures at the same time. So if you just refresh that, then that's going to give you basically a lot more pictures right there to view. Now, for instance, if you wanted to save a photo, if we just tap on one, you can actually tap and hold, and it's going to directly save that to your camera roll. You can also just tap right here, and you can see you can copy the caption, you can repost it directly within the application, or you can save the media just like I did before. So this is a cool tweak. There is one caveat to this, and like I said, it's a big one, and it's that you have to pay on a monthly basis for this tweak. I've never seen that before in a jailbreak tweak, but basically you can set up however much you want to pay. I think the minimum is $1 a month. And it actually recommends you to pay $4 a month, which is, I just think, out of control. I don't think it's really worth that at all. I probably wouldn't purchase this just because it's out of Cydia and you have to pay on a monthly basis. But if you're into that, you can definitely check it out for yourself. Next, we have a tweak called NudeKeys. Now, this is a really cool tweak, and this is actually one that I put in my, or a similar, very similar one that I put in my previous perfect jailbroken iPhone setup. Now with this, it's going to make everything a whole lot easier because there's not going to be any type of dependencies or anything like that. Literally, you just install NudeKeys and you're going to get NudeKeys. So if I just swipe down here, you can see what that looks like. This is going to be the dark version. You can also have a light version just by toggling that on in the settings. You can also change it up to add a few colors to it. So if we go down here to NudeKeys, open that up, you can see that you can turn on the dark keyboard, which is what I've done right now. And you can also toggle on background color enabled. So once you toggle that on, then you can change these colors right here. So your top color as well as your bottom color. So what that's going to do is basically put a gradient from white down here to blue up at the top. So if we respring, you can see exactly what this does. So now when I pull down for the spotlight, you can see that it starts at white and goes to blue for NudeKeys. So if this is something you want to check out, I definitely recommend doing it this way by downloading NudeKeys. There is a little statement inside of the tweak itself and the information saying that the proceeds for this tweak actually go to homeless people. Now, I've never heard of this actual developer before, so I'm not sure if that's true, but if it does, then that's going to a good cause as well. But that's all the tweaks and themes that I have for this video. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comments below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smack that like button, and I have some really awesome videos coming up for you guys that are a little bit out of the box of what I usually do, so hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. So just stay tuned, and you'll see those pretty soon. All right, guys, until next time, peace.